Nobody would have thought much of me being lost in only a sloop.
And so then I suppose he went away to Laconia, and there he met with my poor boy. Charles, do tell Captain Wentworth he need not be afraid of mentioning poor Dick in front of me. It would be rather a pleasure to hear him talked of by such a good friend. Now the Laconia, Louisa, look up the Laconia.
Here, let me see if I can find her for you.
Oh, do, please.
Here we are. Laconia, 38 guns, now out of commission. She was one of the best friends a man ever had, too.
I'm sure, sir, it was a lucky day for us when you were put captain into that ship. We shall never forget what you did.
My brother. No, Mamma is thinking of poor Richard.
It would have been a happy thing if he'd never left you. I assure you, Captain Wentworth, we are only sorry he ever left you.
Ah, yes, Mrs. Musgrove. Your son, Richard, my midshipman.
He improved so much while you were his captain. You were such a good influence on him.
Oh, you give me more credit than is my due, I assure you.
You know, Frederick, if you'd been a week later at Lisbon last spring, you would have been asked to give a passage to Lady Mary Grierson and her daughters.
Oh, would I? Then I'm glad I was not a week later.
What? Are you so ungallant, then?
I hope not. But I would never willingly allow any ladies on board any ship of mine, except for a ball or a few hours' visit.
Oh, but Captain Wentworth, why? Do you hate ladies so much?
On the contrary, Miss Musgrove. It's simply that I feel it is not possible, whatever one's efforts and for all one's sacrifices, to make accommodations on board ships suitable for women.
Frederick!
Well, it's true.
Phoo, it's all idle refinement. Women can be as comfortable on board ship as in the best house in England.
Of course they can't, Sophie.
I believe I've lived on board ship as much as most women. I know nothing superior to the accommodations of a man-of-war.
Really, Mrs. Croft?
Yes, I declare I have no comfort or indulgence about me, even at Kellynch Hall, beyond what I've always had in most of the ships I've lived in.
And how many have you lived in, Mrs. Croft?
5 altogether. I hate to hear Frederick talking like a fine gentleman, and as if women were all fine ladies instead of rational creatures. We none of us expects to be on smooth waters all our days.
Indeed not, ma'am, indeed not.
Now, my dear, when Frederick has a wife, he will sing a different tune.
Yes, yes, we shall see about him then.
When he is married, and if we have the good luck to live through another war, we shall see him do as you and I, Sophia, and a great many others have done. He will be very thankful to anyone who brings him his wife.
Aye, he will.
Well, now I have done. Once married people begin to attack me with, oh, you will think differently when you are married, I can only say, no, I shall not. And when they say, yes, you will, there's an end of it.
What a great traveller you must have been, ma'am.
Pretty well, ma'am, in the 15 years of my marriage. Though many women have done more.
Oh,
I've crossed the Atlantic 4 times.
Oh, bless me.
And I've been to the East Indies and back again once, but only once. Besides being in different places about home, Cork and Lisbon and Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
But I never went beyond the Straits, and I've never been to the West Indies. We do not call Bermuda and Bahama the West Indies, you know.
Oh, no.
And I can assure you, ma'am, that nothing could exceed the accommodations of a man-of-war. I speak, you know, of the higher rates.
Oh, yes, of course, the higher one.
When you come to a frigate, of course, you are more confined, though any reasonable woman may be perfectly happy in one.
I'm sure she may.
I can safely say that the happiest part of my life has been spent on board ship. As long as we were together, ma'am, nothing ever ailed me, and I never met with the smallest inconvenience.
Aye, to be sure. Oh, yes, indeed. I'm quite of your opinion, ma'am.
Anyone can see that yours has been a very happy marriage, Mrs. Croft.
So long as I've been with the Admiral, I've not complained.
There is nothing so bad as separation, ma'am. I'm quite of your opinion. I know what it is. For Mr. Musgrove always attends the assizes. And I'm so glad when they're over and he's safe back again.
What was that? What did you say, my dear?
I'm just telling Mrs. Croft how glad I am when you come back from the assizes, my dear.
Yes, I do believe you are, my dear.
Papa, may we dance now?
A dance? Why, yes, I'm sure we'd all enjoy watching you dance, Henrietta.
I'm going to play for you.
Oh, would you, Anne?
Yes, of course.
Dancing. We're going to have a ball, a little private ball. Miss Anne is so kind. She always plays for my daughters.
She does not say very much.
She's usually silent.
Perhaps her eloquence lies in her fingers. I like musical people.
So do I. I sometimes think unmusical people are capable of every sort of wickedness. It should be a crime to have no ear.
To be sure, Admiral, I'm quite of your opinion. It should be, it should be.
Miss Musgrove, may I have the pleasure of a dance with you?
Yes, Captain Wentworth, you may. Oh. Indeed, you shall have the first one. Oh, but I claim the second.
So I shall have to make do with the third, I suppose.
Mary, you are not an unmarried girl.
I don't see what difference that need make in a family party.
Well, I claim my precedence for the first dance, my love. You can fight over Captain Wentworth with Louisa afterwards.
Does Miss Elliot know the dance?
Oh, no. No, she's quite given up dancing. She'd rather play.
I see.
And never tires of playing for us, you know.
Not so ungallant as he likes to pretend. No, indeed, ma'am.
What Frederick needs is a wife.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now it is my turn with you, Captain Wentworth.
Oh, please, remember, I'm only a sailor. You must not dance me off my feet.
Play that tune you mentioned. Or perhaps Anne knows it.
There. No. That's it. Or something like it, at least.
Do you know that tune, Anne?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
I beg your pardon, madam. This is your seat.
Not at all, sir.
Oh, do play it again. I'm sure Anne will know it.
No, no. It is our turn to dance.
Oh, on with the ball.
Oh, well done. Very well done. On with the ball.
What do they say?
My father is very well. They have taken a house in Camden Place.
Oh, but that's a very good part of Bath. Very good indeed.
It's all hills, Bath.
It sounds a delightful house. And big. You will be able to stay there, Charles.
Does Elizabeth say so?
No, of course not. She doesn't need to.
I do hope it isn't too expensive.
Huh.
Oh, they've been invited out I don't know how many times already. And to the most fashionable houses, Anne. Charles, we really must go to Bath this winter.
I wish you could go instead of me. I hate fashionable parties.
Oh? Does that mean you hated our little party last night?
No, Mary. That was a family party. I like family parties.
It's quite fashionable enough for Captain Wentworth.
What a pleasant man he is.
Yes. That's what Henrietta thinks.
You know, I believe he made £20,000 out of the war.
There's no problem about a fortune.
And there's every chance of his making some more if there's another war. I can't believe there's any officer in the Navy more likely to distinguish himself.
No.
He'd be a capital match for Louisa.
Henrietta. He prefers Henrietta. Oh, but dear me, suppose he were to rise to very great honours. Well, suppose he should ever be made a baronet. Henrietta would take place of me then, and she wouldn't dislike that. Sir Frederick and Lady Wentworth. Of course, it would only be a new creation.
My father would hardly approve.
No. Never think much of your new creations myself.
Oh, Louisa wouldn't mind how new it was.
Charles, how many times do I have to tell you he prefers Henrietta?
She does seem to have lost interest in Charles Hayter, I grant you.
Oh, thank goodness.
Considering the alliances which the Musgroves have made already, she's no right to go throwing herself away on a hater.
Oh, Cousin Charles is a very good fellow. You shouldn't say that.
He is a scholar and a gentleman, Mary.
Well, he's more cultivated than the rest of his family, I grant you. He could hardly not be. But no young girl has the right to choose someone who is disagreeable to the senior branch of her family.
Whatever do you mean, Mary?
I mean that Henrietta would be giving bad connections to those who aren't used to them.
Oh, do you indeed?
Yes, I do. Well, who is Charles Hayter, pray? Nothing but a country curate. Most improper match for a Miss Musgrove of Uppercross.
All churchmen do have to start as curates, you know.
Well, I very much hope that Captain Wentworth will soon put all thoughts of churchmen quite out of her head. In fact, I'm sure he's done so already.
Well, I think he prefers Louisa.
Charles, why must you always be so contrary? Of course he prefers Henrietta.
Well, whichever it is. If there's so much uncertainty, I think he should declare himself. He shouldn't hurt anyone's feelings.
I managed to have another word with Dr. Shirley this morning, Henrietta.
Oh, yes, Charles?
I let him know again how very much I hope to become his curate.
Oh, did you?
I told him how very inconvenient it is for me to be where I am now. It is very inconvenient, you know.
Yes.
And I pointed out that it would be a very great advantage for me to be at Uppercross. Henrietta, you don't seem very interested.
What?
I said you don't seem very interested in what I said to Dr. Shirley.
Of course I am, Charles. But go on.
He is very infirm, you know. He should have a curate. After all, he has been rector here for more than 40 years. It's a very long time. And in spite of his zeal, he really cannot perform his duties as he should any longer.
Oh, no. Oh, is that him, Louisa? Oh no, not yet.
Henrietta?
Yes?
Who are you waiting for?
Oh, Captain Wentworth.
Do you want to know what Dr. Shirley said or not?
But of course I do.
Well, he confirmed his promise that I am to have the curacy.
Well, I'm very glad indeed, Charles, of course. But I always thought you'd have it.
You didn't seem so sure last time we talked about it.
But I thought we were all sure. Well, it didn't seem to me there was any... Well, I mean, we know Dr. Shirley must have a curate, and you had got his promise.
Well,
Oh,
yes,
is that him, Louisa?
Still no sign.
Henrietta?
I wonder where he can be.
Hello? Good morning, Henrietta.
Have Charles and Captain Wentworth gone shooting?
Yes, they went about an hour ago. Why?
Oh, well, since we're left all alone, and it's such a very fine day for November, we thought we should go for a long walk.
What a very good idea.
We wondered if you'd like to come, Anne.
And not me.
Oh, well, we know you don't usually like going for long walks, Mary.
I don't know what you mean. I'm a very good walker.
Are you sure?
Yes, I should like to join you very much indeed. I'm very fond of a long walk.
You didn't used to be, Mary.
Oh, look, there's Charles and Captain Wentworth.
Well, we'd better go and get ready. I can't imagine why they should suppose I wouldn't enjoy a long walk. Everybody is always supposing I'm not a good walker.
Well, that is an impression you sometimes give them.
I can't think how.
Hello, good morning.
We thought you were gone shooting.
We did go, yes, but we took this useless young dog with us and... Here, boy, heel! I said heel!
I'm afraid Prince spoiled our sport.
Heel!
Oh, what a shame.
Will you heel, I said? Yes, there were plenty of birds about, too.
Well, it doesn't matter. The birds will still be there tomorrow. And young dogs have to learn.
Where were you going? Have you been visiting Mary and Anne?
We came to take them for a long walk with us.
A walk? Oh, capital, may we come too?
Oh, do please. We should like that. You'll come too, I hope, Captain Wentworth.
Well, since there's to be no more shooting, I should enjoy it very much. If you'll have me, that is.
Oh, good.
Well, we'll just put our guns inside and then we can be off.
You're back very early.
Just in time to join you, though.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wentworth. How very nice to see you. Have you had a pleasant morning? Oh, look! Oh, do look at the colours in the wood there. Oh, superb.
Very fine. Beautiful.
Prince? Prince? Prince, where are you? Here, boy. Prince! Prince!
Now see the fading, many-coloured woods, shade deepening over shade, the country round in brown, a crowded umbrage, dusk and dun of every hue, from wan declining green to sooty dark.
Hmm? Oh, yes. Poetry, I suppose. So pretty. Oh, it's beautiful, Anne. What is it?
It's Thomson from his autumn.
All these poets seem to write about the autumn. I can't think why.
It's all the ones worth reading, do I think?
Can you go on with it?
Oh, I am nothing but quotations.
Oh, look, Captain Wentworth and Louisa are getting ahead of us. Now, we must hurry along. Waste our time on poetry.
Prince, come on, boy. Come on. Here, boy.
Oh, do recite some more, Anne.
I wonder what's appropriate. Oh, I know. Then is the time for those whom wisdom and whom nature charm to steal themselves from the degenerate crowd and soar above this little scene of things, to tread low-thoughted vice beneath their feet, to soothe the throbbing passions into peace and woo lone quiet in the silent walks.
It's perfect. Perfect. Soar above this little scene of things. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Soothe the throbbing passions into peace and woo lone quiet in the silent walks.
Wentworth, we're waiting for you to show some gallantry here.
Oh, it will not be gallantry, Miss Louisa. It will be a pleasure.
Oh, so gallantry's not pleasant.
Oh, you do me wrong. You do me wrong.
Careful, my dear.
Quite all right, thank you, Charles. Thank you, sir. Very gallant, I'm sure.
Very pleasant, I assure you, ma'am.
Oh, I cannot get down. I am stuck. I am caught here forever. Louisa?
I think it may be possible to get you down, if you will let me help you.
No, I'm past human help. But there's nothing else for it. I shall have to jump.
Jump, then, and I will catch you.
I must do it again. Louisa! Now, I'm sure there'll be several other styles for you to practice your jumping from, Louisa.
right and a left.
Bless me, here's Winthrop. Oh, I'd no idea. Well, now, I think we'd better turn back. I'm exceedingly tired.
Oh, certainly not.
I told you, this is where Cousin Charles lives.
Aha.
I think we should, Henrietta, don't you?
Well, yes, if you're so very tired.
No. Henrietta.
Well, now we're here, I shall go and visit my Aunt Hayter. You'll come too, I hope, Mary.
No, Charles, I shall not.
I think you should.
There is no need to pay a call on someone simply because one can see his house. Otherwise, one would do nothing but pay calls all day long.
Mary, I should like you to come with me.
Well, I shall not, Charles.
Am I to go alone, then?
No. Henrietta would like to come with you.
Oh, good. Yes, good.
Well, I should just like to see my aunt.
We'll just go down the hill for a few minutes. We won't be long.
I hope not. It's unpleasant having such connections. But I assure you, I've never been in the house more than twice in my life.
Well, I hope everyone will be happy now.
Do you, Louisa? And how long do you think they'll be being happy?
Oh, long enough for us to do some nutting anyway. Captain Wentworth, I shall need your arms.
There you go.
I wouldn't be prevented from doing something I wanted to do, and which I knew to be right, by the airs of someone like that. Or of anyone else, I may say. Mary had no right to interfere.
Indeed, she did not.
That branch, please. Henrietta's always giving in to Mary. I have no intentions of ever being so easily persuaded myself. When my mind is made up, it is made up. But Henrietta...
You think she really would have turned back if you hadn't persuaded her?
Oh, I'm almost ashamed to say it. But yes.
Then she was lucky to have a mind as firm as yours at hand. Woe betide him and her if something more important comes up.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean that life is likely to provide Henrietta with sterner tests than this. And if she hasn't the strength of purpose to resist idle interference now, well...
Well?
Well, I think you're fortunate to have the firmer character.
Do you? Oh, do you really?
Oh, yes. You can't rely on people who change their minds, you see. You can't trust them. There's no happiness without trust. If you want to be happy, you must be firm. Here's a nut for an example. Beautiful, glossy nut. Blessed with original strength, which has survived all the storms of autumn. Not a weak spot, not a puncture anywhere. This nut, whilst many of its brethren have fallen and been trodden underfoot, still possesses all the happiness that a hazelnut may be supposed capable of. My first wish for everyone I care for is that he or she should be firm. So if you, Louisa Musgrove, want to be beautiful and happy in the November of your life, you'll cherish all your present strength of mind.
Of course, Mary is good-natured enough in many respects.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
But sometimes she does provoke me very much with her nonsense. And her pride. It's the Elliot pride. She's a great deal too much of the Elliot pride.
Yes. They're not a humble family.
Well, you know, we do also just so wish that Charles married Anne instead.
Anne?
Yes. Didn't you know that Charles wanted to marry her?
No, I didn't. Do you mean Anne refused him?
Oh, yes, certainly.
When was that?
Oh, I don't know exactly. Henrietta and I were still at school then. But I believe it was about a year before he married Mary. Oh, I just so wish Anne had accepted him. We should all have liked her much better. Of course, Papa and Mamma always think it was her great friend Lady Russell's doing. Do you know Lady Russell?
I have met her, yes.
Well, they think Charles was not learned and bookish enough for Lady Russell. So she used her persuasion to make Anne refuse him.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, that's what they think. But I don't really know. Look, Cousin Charles is coming.
My congratulations.
There they are. Louisa, where were you? I couldn't find you anywhere. Who's that coming up the hill?
It's Mr. Hayter with Charles and Henrietta.
I'm tired of looking at Winthrop. I want to go home.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello. Look at all the nuts we've gathered.
Oh, very well done, Louisa. Very well done indeed.
Well, it doesn't seem very many for 4 people.
Well, there are only 2 of us. Well, 1.5, really.
Oh, and who, pray, was the half?
Oh, myself, of course. Everyone knows a sailor's worth only half a lady on dry land.
My aunt was sorry not to see you, Mary.
Oh?
She sends you her compliments. And to you, Anne.
How kind. I hope you gave her my good wishes.
Charles, I want to go home. Would you say goodbye to Mr. Hayter so that we can start?
Oh, Cousin Charles is coming with us.
You're quite right, Captain Wentworth. Firmness of purpose is the only thing.
Long, Charles.
Oh, steady there.
I do feel rather tired. I don't know why.
Will you? Take my arm, then.
Charles, do stop that.
Why? I dislike nettles.
Very disobliging of you to keep dropping my arm at every moment.
Well, I do not feel you have been very obliging to me today, Mary.
Charles.
Got him.
Why do I have to walk on the side where all the nettles are? There are none on Anne's side.
Look, a weasel. Here, Prince, come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Charles! We'll never get him along at this rate. We're very ill-used, Anne. We're very ill-used indeed.
Ah, there's a carriage.
Oh, where?
Down the lane there. It must be the Admiral, my sister. If we're lucky, we'll catch them at that gate.
Oh, good. Quick, we must hurry.
Well, you must all have been a long way. We'd be glad to offer a lady a seat if anyone's tired.
Oh, no. No, thank you. No, I'm not in the least tired. Nor am I.
It would save you a full mile across the fields, and we're going through Uppercross. Mrs. Musgrove?
No, thank you.
Miss Elliot.
Oh, no, it's very kind, but really not, thank you.
Well, we shall be home well before Frederick, my dear.
If he decides to come home at all.
Asking me to make a third in a one-horse chaise.
It was very kind of him to suggest it.
Yes, so it was.
Good walking to all of you.
Sophie.
Miss Elliot, I'm sure you're tired. Do let us have the pleasure of taking you home. There's plenty of room for 3, I assure you. Indeed, if we were all like you, I do believe we could seat 4.
Oh, it's very kind of you, but really
You must, indeed you must.
Come along, Miss Elliot, we insist. Look, there is excellent room for us all.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Thank you, Captain Wentworth.
Welcome aboard, Miss Elliot.
Goodbye.
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 Everybody.
Come on. Come on. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You do look a little tired, Miss Elliot, if you'll allow me to say so.
Yes, I do feel a little fatigued.
Capital girls, those Musgrove girls. Nothing would ever tire them, I dare say, not even if they danced all night.
Oh, I remember the days when nothing could tire me.
My dear, it only ever required one Navy officer to make a young girl feel she could never feel tired again in her life.
My dear, you're being too direct.
Oh. I'm sure Miss Elliot has observed for herself what effect Frederick has had at Uppercross.
Captain Wentworth. Yes.
He certainly means to have one or other of those 2 girls, Sophie. The trouble is, there's no knowing which.
Oh, you think not?
He's been running after them long enough, I should have thought, to make up his mind.
Well, there's no hurry, my dear. He has plenty of time.
Come too nearly. It'll dirty me.
Rested, Anne. You will have to entertain us. No one else is fit to.
No. I was visiting an old friend.
Oh, dear.
Do you know Lyme?
No, we've never been.
Oh, just go. It's a charming place. Only 17 miles away, you know.
What are you talking about?
Lyme. An old friend of mine has settled there for the winter. We were within 20 miles of each other without either of us knowing it.
Oh, do let's go. Let's have an expedition. Yes, what a good idea.
Isn't it a little late in the year for expeditions?
No, we must go. The weather is so fine. Let's go tomorrow.
Well, we can hardly do that. But I see no reason why I shouldn't speak to my father and suggest a day next week.
Oh, I'm wild to go. But shall we go just for the day?
Well, I hardly think that would be wise. The days are so short
Yes,
now.
we shall have to spend the night there. You'll come with us, of course, Captain Wentworth.
Oh, you must come. It's your idea.
Oh, yes, I should like to, very much. I was going to go and see the Harvilles again soon anyway.
Hurrah! Then it's all arranged. To line, to line, to line.
Well, Mrs. Musgrove, did you see the sea?
Yes, thank you. Very pretty, I'm sure.
Oh, this air, it does a man good.
I can smell the sea already. I must go to it at once.
You can get to it from those steps. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, it was a good idea of yours for us all to come to Lyme.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet.
About 3.5 hours is just about what I reckon.
What time is it now?
Getting on for 1 o'clock.
Yeah. The light will go soon. We don't have much time for looking about.
Charles, go and arrange our rooms and order the dinner. We mustn't waste time.
Very well, my dear.
Oh, almost everything. Shut up! All the visitors have gone.
I'm glad. We should have Lyme to ourselves.
There's plenty to see, I assure you. You won't lack for amusement.
I want to see the cob. I've heard so much about it.
You shall do so directly. My friend Captain Harville's house is on the way.
Right by the sea?
As close to it as possible, as a sailor always likes to be. It's very snug.
Oh, it sounds delightful.
Oh, it is. Though it's a little cramped just now. They have a visitor.
Oh, who's that?
Captain Benwick.
Oh, I don't think I know anyone called Benwick.
He was my first lieutenant on board the Laconia. An excellent young man. I valued him so highly. Poor fellow.
Why, poor fellow?
Well, there's something I should tell you about Captain Benwick.
What is that?
You see, he was engaged to Captain Harville's sister.
Was engaged?
I'm afraid so. They waited for a year or two, as people do, you know, for money and promotion. And he did well for prizes. The money came soon enough.
But not the promotion.
Well, that came too, at last. But too late, I'm afraid, for Fanny Harville. She died the summer before, while poor Benwick was still at sea.
Oh, how terrible.
Well, it was, you know, it was. I don't think it's possible for a man to be more attached to a woman than Benwick was to Fanny. I've never known anyone more afflicted.
Oh, poor Captain Benwick.
Well, everything's arranged. Let's go and see what we're supposed to see, shall we?
The sea.
Oh, yes!
Well, there's nothing else to look at, is there?
Of course, Mrs. Musgrove. There's the cob.
There it is.
Is that all?
I'm afraid so. Were you expecting more?
Well, yes, Captain Wentworth. I rather think I was.
Oh, I'm looking forward to meeting Captain Wentworth's friends, aren't you, Anne? Navy officers are so brotherly, I think. So open and upright.
Well, I don't know very many.
I think they have warmer hearts than any other men in England.
Well, how lucky we came to Lyme, then. Your acquaintance in the profession is about to be doubled.
Well, here we are.
Oh!
Well, I did tell you it was small.
This is a very happy moment for me. There's nothing I like more than introducing my friends to each other. Mrs. Musgrove, Mrs. Harville.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Captain Harville, and Captain Benwick.
How do you do?
Mr. Musgrove.
How do you do?
Miss Musgrove.
How do you do?
Miss Louisa Musgrove.
How do you do?
And Miss Elliot.
How do you do?
Awful lot of
Well, welcome to Lyme. Many friends of Frederick's are friends of ours.
Thank you very much.
There is plenty of room, you'll find.
That's awfully nice.
Oh, Mrs. Musgrove, perhaps you'd like to sit over here. There's plenty more room over by the... Oh, Mr. Musgrove.
You will dine with us, all of you, of course.
Well, it's extremely kind of you, Mrs. Harville, but we are so many, and we have ordered dinner at the inn.
At the inn? Dinner at the inn? Oh, but Frederick, how could you allow it?
We really cannot impose ourselves on you.
But it's a matter of course that we should entertain Frederick's friends when they come to Lyme.
We really are too many for you today, you know.
I think we are.
Do you find you like Lyme, Miss Musgrove?
Oh, it's charming. And the cliffs! Oh, they're even more beautiful than Captain Wentworth told us. We can't understand why we've never been here before.
No. Do you like Lyme, Captain Bennet?
I? Yes. Yes, I do.
The countryside is very beautiful.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I expect you walk a good deal.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, Captain Harville, what is that?
Oh, this is my fishing net.
Are you a fisherman?
Alas, no, I'm too lame for that these days. No, I'm making it for one of the men on the cob.
You must be very clever.
Oh, yes, Miss Musgrove. He's always drawing or carpentering or varnishing or gluing. Those bookcases there, he made those himself.
Really?
You must be a great reader, Captain Harville.
Oh, no, those are Captain Benwick's books. I don't have much time for reading myself.
Show them some of your rarities, Harville.
Well, I've nothing very much.
Indeed you have. He never comes home from abroad without something curious.
Oh, do show us.
All right, now, where are we? Oh, yes, sir.
Really, it's very snug here, Mrs. Harville.
Oh, do you think so? I'm so glad. That's just what we want it to be, snug.
Do you have any children, Mrs. Harville?
Oh, yes, 4. 2 boys and 2 girls.
Oh, how very nice. I have 2 boys of my own.
Frederick, it's good to see you again. Benwick and I were talking about the Laconia only the other day.
Ah, the Laconia.
Oh, we know all about you and the Laconia, Captain Harville. Captain Wentworth has told us everything.
What about our French frigate? Did he tell you about that?
French frigate? I thought that was when you commanded the Yass.
Oh, it was nothing. A skirmish.
Indeed it was not. Let me tell you what really happened, Miss Musgrove.
Yes. I'm much impressed with your library, Captain Bennet.
Well, I like to read.
So do I. Do you read more prose or poetry?
Well, I think we're very fortunate to live now because it is such a very rich age for verse.
Oh, I agree.
Indeed. Indeed. Do you know that song from Marmion? Where shall the lover rest, whom the fates sever from his true maiden's breast, parted forever? Where through groves deep and high sounds the far billow, where early violets die under the willow.
Yes, that is very, very... Do you like Lord Byron? I think he's such a witty poet.
Very. But not merely witty, Miss Elliot. He can write, too, with such intense passion. Peace to thy broken heart and virgin grave. Ah, happy bit of life to lose the worst. That grief, though deep, though fatal, was thy first. Thrice happy ne'er to feel nor fear the force of absence, shame, pride, hate, revenge, remorse. That is very powerful, Miss Elliot. Very powerful indeed.
Captain Benwick, I hope you do not only read poetry.
Very little else these days.
I see. You will forgive me if I say that I think you might find prose less distressing.
Ah, well, yes, you may be right.
And there is as much solace in it, I think you will find.
Oh, how could they possibly have sat us all down to dinner?
Well, I can't think.
It was very kind of them to suggest it.
Oh, yes, I think they're absolutely delightful.
Oh, yes. Oh, but I'm so sorry for Captain Benwick, aren't you, Anne? Oh, to lose someone I loved so deeply. I think it would kill me.
Well, you'd be very unhappy, certainly.
Oh, I'd never recover.
I expect you would in the end.
Oh, no. Never.
Well, perhaps Captain Benwick will. I refuse to believe his prospects are blighted forever.
Oh, how can you say that?
Men do get over such things. He may well rally and be happy with someone else. It often happens.
I think you're quite heartless. How could he rally? You heard what Captain Wentworth said. He was very deeply afflicted.
He must still be quite young. And we must hope for his sake that he does recover, mustn't we?
Oh.
What are you looking at so earnestly, Captain Wentworth?
Why? Beauties of nature, of course.
Oh, yes, Mary, you should have been with us. We had a delightful stroll down by the sea.
Oh, there's a delicious breeze, Mary, blowing... Oh, what direction did you say it was from, Captain Wentworth?
The southeast.
Oh.
I expect it will wear.
Where?
Where?
Hello, what's that?
Oh, it's a carriage.
It's a conical. I thought, Master.
Really?
Only just come round from the stable yard. Oh, yes. Someone must be leaving.
Yes. Servant seems to be in mourning.
Well, if you're all going to look and no one's going to tell me what you're looking at, I suppose I'd better come to the window myself.
Oh, look. Look, that must be the owner coming now.
Oh. It's the man we met on the beach.
So it is. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Oh, I wonder who he is.
Oh, no one very important, I dare say.
Ah, just the man we want. Could you tell us who that gentleman was who just went away?
Why, yes, sir, Mr. Elliot. Elliot? Yes, ma'am. A gentleman of considerable fortune, they say. Came in last night from Sidmouth. I dare say you heard his carriage while you were at dinner, sir.
I don't remember it.
Going to Crookham now, sir. On his way to Bath in London.
Bless me. It must be our cousin Anne. It must be Mr. Elliot. Well, Charles, it must be. He was
Right,
in mourning, you see, just like our Mr. Elliot. Oh, how very extraordinary.
Very extraordinary indeed.
Well, in the same inn with us. Oh, Anne, must be our cousin. Our father's heir. Pray, sir, did his servant not say whether Mr. Elliot belonged to the Kellynch family?
No, ma'am, he mentioned no particular family. He said his master was a very rich gentleman who would be a baronet someday.
There. You see, just as I said. Heir to Sir Walter Elliot. Well, I knew it would come out if it was so.
Mary.
Oh, you can depend on it. It's something his servants take care to have known wherever he goes.
Thank you.
Oh, how extraordinary, though, Anne. I do wish I'd looked at him more carefully. Well, if we'd known who he was, he could have been introduced to us.
Mary, you seem to forget that our father and Mr. Elliot are not, well...
Yes, quite. Perhaps an introduction might not have been desirable.
Oh. Oh, yes. But, of course, you will mention that we've seen him, Anne, won't you, next time you write to Bath?
Why don't you write yourself?
Well, there's no point in our both writing. Besides, Elizabeth is such a very unsatisfactory correspondent.
It is good sense, Miss Elliot. Very good sense indeed. I have very much enjoyed discussing literature again with someone. I've missed that sort of conversation.
Oh, Captain Bennet, I appeal to you. Captain Wentworth will not be serious.
About what, Miss Musgrove?
Oh, he says that the ropes at the front of ships are used for hanging mutinous sailors. Well, surely that's not true.
Hardly, no. I want you to know, Miss Elliot, that you've done a very good deed.
Aye, Captain Harville.
Making poor Benwick talk so much. I wish he had company like yours more often. I know it's bad for him to be shut up here as he is, but what can we do? We can't part with him.
Of course we can't. But in time, perhaps. Well, we know what time does.
I hope it may do it for him, poor fellow.
Now, my dear, you've walked quite far enough for today.
Oh, you're right, my dear, as usual. Frederick, we can go with you no further. I'm instructed to return to port forthwith.
Well, I shall come and see you again soon. This time hasn't been nearly long enough.
It never is. You must bring your friends to see us again. And if you refuse to dine with us then, we shall never speak to you again.
I shall take that as an order.
And so you should. Goodbye, Mrs. Musgrove.
Goodbye. We have enjoyed meeting you.
Yes,
Goodbye,
goodbye.
Miss Musgrove.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mrs. Harville. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Harville.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I say, Wentworth, it's nearly 1 o'clock. We really ought to be getting back.
Oh, but we must go to the Cobb again.
But it'll take quarter of an hour there and back.
Well, it can't make any difference.
Yes, Charles. We mustn't let a few minutes spoil our day.
I insist. I will not be denied.
Well, it's settled then. If you insist, we obviously have to.
Indeed, you do.
It's always good just to look at the sea, I think, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, the glad waters of the dark blue sea.
Our thoughts as boundless and our souls as free.
Corsair.
I know almost everything Lord Byron's ever written.
Charles, it's too windy for me up here.
Can you manage them, my dear?
Yes, I think so, thank you.
Mind your step.
Take care, they are rather slippery.
Yes, thank you, Captain Bennet. You can jump me down.
Well, the pavement's rather hard, you know. You'll hurt your feet.
Oh, of course I won't. There, it didn't hurt at all. I'll do it again, just to show you.
I really don't advise it. You'll jar yourself.
Oh, nonsense.
You will.
Come on, Louisa.
Is there no one to help me?
Go to him, go to him. I can support her.
You sure?
Yes, yes. Leave her to me and go to him. Rub her hands, rub her temples. Look, here are some salts. Take them, take them.
Father or not.
Get a doctor, quickly. Get a doctor.
Doctor, once.
Captain Bennet, let him go. He knows where the doctor lives.
Yes, yes, all right. You go back.
Help me!
Mary, be calm. You must be calm.
I can't bear it! I can't bear it!
Anne, what are we to do next? What in heaven's name are we to do next?
Carry her to the Harvilles. But gently, oh, gently.